What's up, y'all? So I'm out here. You know, if I was born in my ancestral home, I'd be Irish, but instead I speak with a little bit of a country drawl. So anyway, yeah, I've been scoring a lot on the Prime Day. I got my Switch 2 container. I wanted to get that first before I got the Switch 2 so it didn't get broken. I want to see Cyberpunk, and I want to see... It's funny, I'm getting the Nintendo Switch to play Cyberpunk. If you're a gamer, you know how funny that is. I also want to play Red Dead when it comes out. I don't think I'm going to play Breath of the Wild 2. The other game I want to play for it is Elden Ring. Yeah, Elden Ring is coming out for this Switch 2. It's called the Tarnished Edition. So yeah, this case has a port so I can charge it while it's in the box. So like, while I'm charging my solar panel, I can set it out in the sun to charge. Won't get damaged. So yeah. A lot of them don't have that. A lot of them are totally sealed. This is like a port. Yeah, you can charge it while it's in the case, which is like so key. And then I got a lot of like a peridot set. Buying beads for me, like I bought this necklace, right? And it's like, oh, or this bracelet. And they're like, well, we included an extra bead in case it's too small. It is still too small. You know how many beads I can hold? 27 8mm beads. Yeah. My wrist size is 27 8mm beads. 28 is a size too big. 27 is just right. So, yeah, I know that now, that like my wrist size is 27, which is kind of interesting. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to be getting, I wonder how big my neck size is. Like, how many beads does it take to get around my neck? I'm guessing at least 3 times as many. So, yeah, I'm going to get like a whole amethyst band for my neck and then another one for my other arm, because I have like good luck with amethyst. Amethyst is like a psychic protection. Amethyst means that, number one, it helps with like addiction, helps with losing weight, helps with obviously like third eye stuff, but it also helps with like psychic protection. So I have some really cool obsidian coming, but it won't be here in a couple weeks. Yeah. So I'm hoping the rain starts soon. When I got here, I didn't realize how lucky I was. Yeah, when I got here, it was like the biggest rainstorm they'd had the day I get here. Same thing with Tucson. I got back home to Tucson, and it was the fastest wind speed ever recorded in Tucson the day I got there. By far. Like, the last record was 45 miles an hour. This was 72 miles an hour. And it was a huge monsoon. So, yeah, I'm like powerful, man. So, from my perspective, the way I see it is all of like time and space realities are ensorreled around my relative like synchronistic path, right? That because I am a separate entity and I am making probabilistic determinations, I have basically magic powers to control fate, right? So, and that I don't share that with anyone. To me, I don't share that with anyone. So my social stance is, it'd be rude for me to go around and try to like dominate everyone. No, I'm the king. Yeah, right. But I don't have to do that. It'll just happen for me if I want it anyway. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm glad they gave me a discount on my auto stuff. And I'm excited about all these different beads. Like, I got a lot of different stones. I got them on a great, like, Prime Day deals. And they're real. I mean, it's like, the stones can have, like, they can have errors or flaws. Like, you know, it's like, it's not a complete, they're kind of natural looking. So, yeah, I definitely like that. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's all I'm talking about. Is I did some Prime Day shopping. I was thinking about getting a fire stove and a pot, but I kind of like don't feel like that right now. I know why my campsite. Oh yeah, it was like I was listening to this thing like affirmations for having a great social life, and this dude drove by who looked cool as fuck. I would have. He drove by in like one of those like for fun vehicles, and I was like, dang, that would look fun. And he turned around and came back. I was like, what the fuck? It's so crazy. So yeah, I do need a way better social life. I need a social life where I don't need to like try to impress or prove I'm cool. You know what I mean? That's kind of tiresome. Uh, I really just want to have it all without stressing or trying really. Um, so yeah, but I'm interested in like the not overdoing amethyst, but definitely like having it on both limbs and then having it on my neck. And then I have a thing of carnelian, which is like the reddest carnelian I've ever seen. I hope these stones are real. It could be that they know the chemistry to make them, and then if they can make them, then I don't think it's less real than finding it in the earth. For real is like, and it's interesting, like carnelian is another iron, is that amethyst gets its purple from iron, and carnelian gets its red from iron. Yeah, and aliens had told me once that like iron is a lot better than you think it is. That's something that I had heard a long, long time ago, and it was like, huh. And I keep finding that it's like, yeah, I know there's other things like neodymium, obviously titanium, like all these things are like really impressive and really cool, but it's like all the things iron can do isn't really discovered yet. I feel like that. I feel like iron has special properties that people just don't know, which is fun. I mean, we've only been cracking at this for a little while. I'm not a scientist myself. I'm more like a social leader, and I'm a good one because I'm really focused on it. I think about this stuff all the time. I work on this stuff all the time, right? So my hope is to give shielding and supplies to people who want to do science, people who want to experiment, and you should be using dreams. So another one I got is I got a lot of blue kyanite. This is some of the coolest looking kyanite I've ever seen. I don't know, is it real? I hope so. Um, yeah, I definitely don't want this shit to be like glass beads. I don't think they're glass. Yeah. There's little like imperfections that look like how the stone would actually look. So, yeah, crystal beading up. See, it's like it's debatable whether they have real properties, but they might. And then it comes down to like, what's the best or strongest? Is it gold and diamonds? Are gold and diamonds really the most powerful ones? So, yeah, gold is not the best transmitter of electricity. Silver is, but gold doesn't tarnish. That's the thing, is gold is like a good transmitter of electricity, and it doesn't ever go bad, right? So I don't own any gold myself, but I would like to someday for like my health, get some gold. I was thinking instead of a ring, get like a gold bead, and then get something like another precious gemstone. It's interesting where people find them. I mean, when you're in a spot where they are, you can basically do a huge mine and pull up a ton of stuff. Like when they're digging out quartz or amethyst, it's like rock after rock, right? So it's just about knowing where they're from. Yeah. I got them at great deals. I can't believe they're real with such good deals, but me looking at like, looking for imperfections, they're there. There's all the signs it's real, and other people seem to think so. So, yeah. I also got angel aura quartz. I'm not getting any quartz. I've gotten quartz before. I'm not getting any. I'm getting angel aura quartz, and I'm getting rainbow hematite because I like that one. Yeah, I think the, like titanium plating, titanium electroplating, totally fine, legit. That's kind of what I'm talking about with like free energy, free power, is like secret techniques, stuff nature would never do, but stuff that works. So Yeah, maybe how rare would it have to be to have some like titanium quartz, right, in nature? Maybe impossible. Yeah, I had some angel aura quartz and a fucking pack rat stole it. I left it out. Couldn't find it, and later on I was doing some shit and I found a fucking pack rat. My mom became a little slaver. You know, it's funny, like my dad used to order me around all the time, like, and now that they're divorced, he doesn't ask me to do anything. He's never asked me to do a thing. And my mom is the one giving all the orders. So maybe she was like going to him, telling him to tell me. That's something I hadn't considered until recently, that my dad wasn't the one making me do it all. She was. She just wanted him to tell me. Right? So, yeah, she's like, I had this social theory that it's like that joke, Jacub. White people, Muslims believe white people were made by a big-headed black African called Jacub who wanted sex slaves. So he made white people his sex slaves. He engineered them. And so like white men are always angry because they're like not allowed to touch, and real female loyalties are with Africa, right? Is white women aren't on the side of white men. They want black men, you know? And it's like this, like, are you fucking serious? But it makes sense with the whole, like, someone created us to be sex slaves. That's why we're like hot. Yeah, that's why we're sexy looking, is so we're fuckable. So yeah, black men were yearning after blue-eyed women who were like angels, right? So I'm the male version of it. Yeah, I think it's a funny theory. It's definitely, if the Muslims really think that, then I've thought it as well. It could be true that the people doing the earliest slave breeding were like, we need a race of sex slaves, you know, and they came up with white people for that. So who knows? Um, but yeah, I forget why I brought that up. Yeah, Prime Day. I did all the shopping I needed to do. It's interesting. I'm glad I got my car worked on because the freaking part from Amazon didn't get here. Yeah, it was a whiff. So um, I wouldn't have been able to fix it myself anyway. Yeah, I'm glad they did fix it. It probably would have been cheaper by about $1,000 to do it myself. Would have just had to get some supplies, hundreds of dollars in supplies versus, you know, but it was nice just to have it done. It makes me feel more and more the goal is to save money. Yeah. If you want to retire, the amount you gotta get is about 1.4 million. With 1.4 million, your dividends will pay you about $50,000-$60,000 a year. And so what you do is you work your ass off at the highest paying job you can find, and you save all of it, and you save all of it, and you save all of it. And eventually, you know, if you're making, you know, decent money, you can get to $1 million pretty fast. And then you diversify your investments in things that have a dividend yield, right? And that means that every quarter or whatever, they pay you a certain amount of money depending on how much you have invested. It's considered profit sharing. And so, yeah, that's how you live. So once you have like 1.4 million, you take that, and then while you're getting dividends, you can retire. While you're getting dividends, you live frugally and you save your dividends. And then you just keep accumulating, like each year you put your dividends away, you'll get more and more and more and more. And then that's how you retire. So it's like, if you want to retire in 20 years, 10 years, you have to focus on accumulating that money, get millions of dollars. If you're making $100,000 a year, or even 200,000, mechanics, yeah, you could find a small town in a transit zone and start up a mechanic business, you'd make a lot of money. Anywhere where people go through that there may not necessarily be a mechanic there already, buy some cheap land, make a freaking, an area, and then, fix her up. Make good ass money. So anyway, yeah. Yeah, you can make a few $100,000 a year being a mechanic or being the owner of the machine shop, you know what I mean? So, yep. And then once you're talking about millions invested, then you're going to start, again, like 1.4 million is about 50, 60K a year in dividends. So if you get, if you can amass 20 million, if you can work your entire adult life, right, until you're 40, and keep accumulating like millions upon millions of dollars, then you're going to retire really good. If you're retiring with $200,000-$300,000 a year in dividends, any house is yours. You can pay it off fast. You'll never need anything, right? You could even have things like groundskeepers and servants and stuff. So, me, I'm happy if I got food, right? I don't get paid anything in dividends. My savings are, I did not do that. I'm thinking about doing it now. So I'm like telling you like what I'm thinking about at 38 is how do I get $2 million, right? Honestly, if I had to do it, me coming up with like a business idea that hits off and is successful, how do you claim an idea as your own? Because I give them out for free, but what if I didn't do that, right? But if I had to do it again, knowing that I'm a champion swimmer, honestly, I'd probably do deep sea diving. Yeah, I'd work for like an oil company doing deep sea diving, and that would be like, that would be my give, right? Yeah, it might be hard though because I'm so big. I may have classically been, my head could have been too big, like the size for like the biggest helmets they sell are too small for my head. So it may have been that if I wanted to be a deep sea diver, I may have been a size too big. So, yeah. But if I had to do that, I would do that because that's like really, really good money. And the secret to like making even more money is you don't need a home, right? It's like you live at work. All you do is work. And then that's all you do. Just transfer your whole life into working. And then you'll be able to save up so much freaking money that you could retire in 10 years. Yeah, if you're making, let's say $100,000 to $150,000 a year doing something really dangerous and skilled, a mechanic can make 400,000. There's a female mechanic. She owns one mechanic shop. She makes $450,000 a year as the owner. So yeah, starting as like a low level diver and then moving up to maybe like have your own company or whatever. Yeah, you can make a lot of money, millions of dollars a year. And then as soon as you have enough saved, $10-20 million, you got $20 million saved, you're going to make so many hundreds of thousands a year doing nothing, right? You could retire. So yeah, this is like, I chased the truth and I chased experience and I got both. But if I could do it again, I would go chase the money and invest it. Yeah, invest it in things that have that yield dividends, because you'd get paid. You get paid for having your money. So, yeah. Freaking what do you call it? Pine cone. Hit center too. Hit center mass. I guess that's the sign. I don't think I've ever had a pine cone hit my car while I was making a video. That's the one. I've been out in the woods like for easy free camping for years, and I've heard one tree fall. I didn't even see it, but I've heard it before. I have had trees been falling in areas I was going to, but I've never been in an area and had a tree fallen while I was there. I never had to like get out and hack a tree apart by myself. So yeah, there's that luck. Never been hit by a tree, only heard one fall. They fall sometimes, but it's not like all the time. Yeah, so dividends is how you'd go. Or, you know, if you could get really lucky, you could be on a movie deal and you'd have a royalty. Like some of these people, like, what is it, Lindsay Lohan? Lindsay Lohan's always going to have money from The Parent Trap. The Parent Trap is a classic and a lot of people really like it. And because she's like the star, she gets you know, royalties basically forever anytime that comes up. So yeah, I like Lindsay Lohan. She was, I don't know if it was AI, but she had a weird like mirror to my life and what I was going through. And when I was like amicable again to her, she was just like really brightened and unaged up. Right? When I was a hater, she was absolutely ruined. And then when I was like a happy person, Lindsay Lohan was back. I'm sure Lindsay Lohan and I probably have like a past life experience together or something. Could have been. I mean, I was born nephew director Pinky and the Brain. Not the director. There's lots of people who worked on it, but yeah, Rusty contributed like producer, director. He did he started as an animator, but by the time Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain happened, he was like straight up calling the shots. So yeah, I could have been an actor. I would have been a hot one. My face, yeah, I would have been a good looking dude. But I went after like, I got circumcised, and so I went after, why are you mutilating boy genitals? And so it's like, I think being an actor would have been cushy, would have been that paradise life, right? And I had a hell, right? But the hell was the hell that people were going through. The hell was the hell that real people experienced every day. So it was a bit more grounded. Yeah. I didn't get to be a famous movie star or get paid millions of dollars for pretending to be somebody, but I did like get to expose a lot of huge problems, which ultimately I hope will lead to a better destiny for everyone. So yeah, it could be you become a movie star and you have a bad afterlife because you really weren't that good of a person. You were just like very selfish. And then it could be that you have yeah, and then by like suffering you work on other people's problems. So yeah, what's up, birds? Yeah, the ravens recognized me. I set out food for them. So yeah, I'm just sitting here waiting, doing nothing. See, in these times I would love to have like a good social life, but when I had a good social life before, I was drinking all the time. It's always good, but not the greatest. Like I gotta be, if I'm not the like most important, most popular person in a friend group, I'm like not happy. I'm like, so being alone lets me control that. And I got things to do. Like I found some of my jars and stuff, so I want to collect like, yeah, where did my freaking rocks go? I have a box of rocks and I haven't been able to find it. It's annoying because I have some cool stuff in there I like want. So yeah, anyway. Yeah, they got 10 millimeter beads. I'm doing it with 8. 28 is too big for me. 27 is just right. 26 would be too small to be a gap. So yeah. I don't know if you want to get 8 millimeter beads and count out 27. That's how big my wrist is. So let me know, bigger or smaller. Yeah, my neck, I don't know how many I'm going to need for my neck. Probably more than double, I'd imagine, like maybe 3 or 4 times. So we'll see. I'll get the exact count. How many it takes exactly. And yeah, I'm going to wear that stuff around my neck for like, just to balance out that protection. Yeah, that amethyst was powerful. It changed a lot. People are still coming up to me still. Yeah, people are still approaching me and still talking to me still. It's been that used to never happen. It used to be where I was in a bubble where no one would ever approach me or talk to me, and anytime I'd say anything, they'd say, "What?" Right? And that was like a curse. And now that I have amethyst, it's like people approach me and talk to me, and it just is happening a lot more often, right? And I used to never see it or hear it. So, it protects against psychic attack. It's a cool stone. It's interesting the sun purges it. Yeah, it's like amethyst is a stone born in darkness. Comes from a volcano, and it needs like something radioactive nearby. Yeah. Quartz that is mixed with iron and that is near a radioactive source will develop amethyst, which is interesting. Yeah, carnelian's also iron oxide, so iron and oxygen. Silicon, iron, and oxygen, and it's like, wow. It's almost the parts of life. It forms a clear, beautiful crystal, which is interesting. It's not meaningless, I think. I think it's significant. It's definitely interesting. So yeah, I gotta move the car again. I may as well just do that right now. Let's move the car. So, get back in the shade. It's funny, I had knocked down some signs over here. They kept the signs knocked down. They just like put up new ones away from it. I'm like, that's fair. Ooh, that looks shady. That looks really shady. Let's go over here. I know, I'm gonna drive forward. Drive around. Yeah, I've played the dance in this spot many times with getting the shady spot. Gotta get the shady spot. We got it. Yeah. Ooh-wee. Now this is cooler. This is really cool. Yeah. So I gotta wait again a little bit to get the rest of the rocks. Yeah. My Nikkei Goddess of Victory dailies are reset, so I can go do that. Yep. I'm going to be having some money rocks on me, but I'm taking the amethyst seriously. I'm also taking the obsidian seriously. And it was interesting, like the time when my brakes busted and I like almost crashed. The time that I almost crashed was like a big black truck, which is obsidian, but it didn't hit me. It, like avoided me. So yeah, is death a feature? Is the hardnesses of life there to make it compelling or interesting? To me, I'd like, living life like it's a dream. It's a good dream. So yeah, Prime Day, I could get a little wood stove and a little pot to hang up here. That might be a good idea. So I can cook my own rice. Yeah, rice with butter. Can't go wrong with that. I could get a little cooler for like my butter and keep butter in there. And then, yeah, that might be a good idea. Get a small little cooler for like some stuff. And then you can cook. The problem with like pans like that is soot. You don't want to have to be dealing with soot all the time. It'd be cool if I got a steel one, then I could keep it on my roof. Get some magnets, right? And then just like keep it on my roof. Yeah. Prime Day. What's up, squirrel? I didn't get him any seeds this time. I haven't been to Walmart yet. I still gotta go to Walmart. So we're gonna load up. My feet are all clean. I went 2 months without taking a freaking bath. My feet were pretty dirty. They were pretty dirty. Yeah, you develop calluses. Like, your feet will combine with the mud to make like a shoe. And it's really like interesting because when you're done with it, you can just peel it off, and it's like, it's like a sticky pad. And yeah, if you're bathing every day, you'll never know that. Also, it's like kind of like a cool look is when you're like dirty and you like your eyes run or your eyes water. You get like these cool like black streaks down your face. They look really awesome. So probably it's good for your skin too. Talk about the sun is have a layer of dust on you. Yeah, I've never really had problems with my eyes. It's like they're always like running, so it's like you'll never be too dirty. But yeah, I feel pretty clean. Now it's great. Like my old apartment, paying $850 a month for a place that really wasn't that good, and that works out to about $25 a day. So if you like, you can space out your hotels. Let's say the hotel near me costs $60. I can wait 3 days. That means I can have a hotel every 3 days, and I will still be spending less than if I paid rent. So if I kick that out to a week or 2 weeks, now I'm paying nearly nothing. Take a shower once a month. And then you could even get cheaper and just go to the gym. I still got my free gym day up here. I can do that. I want to wait and go to like Dubai Gold. Ooh, I just saw a trash bag blowing in the wind. Do not go to Dubai Gold. Yeah, that was the confirm. So yeah, I want to get a pure gold bead, but I don't feel like ordering it off Amazon. I don't really trust that. No diamond, just like an 8mm golden bead, and then like put that on my bracelet necklace with everything else. So just for like the aura. Maybe I could get like a diamond or a golden diamond earring or something. It's kind of good protection for yourself. Although I did see like a pretty grubby person today with a diamond earring. Yeah. It's just interesting. It's like, are these precious gemstones better than ordinary rocks? I don't know. Are precious gemstones better than bones? I don't know. They seem cool though. Yeah, I got a lot of rose quartz. I got a mountain of rose quartz. I don't really want more rose quartz than like a single, bracelet. But yeah, I'm truly wearing them for the freaking mystical powers. I'm wearing them because I think they really do something. I think that it's like over time, these things like purify your aura. Your aura meaning everything that's happening around you and to you as well. And that you can have like more luck and synchronicity come in. And I'm really putting like, even though I'll wear obsidian, I'm not now, I'm going to wear obsidian. I'm really putting like the amethyst in a high place because of like what I've seen so far. Yeah, I'm wearing amethyst around both wrists and my neck. I don't have enough yet for that, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to have a real amethyst necklace, and I'm going to get it right bead perfect where it's like snug, sits maybe kind of high, and yeah. This stuff's pretty good. It's stretchy, doesn't break really easy. It's like, yeah, it's pretty stretchy. I gotta like, to cut it with my knife, I have to like put it on something and slice it like a pinch. So, yeah, I'm just letting my battery cook in solar all day. Yeah, all these people are going to be coming out here hoping to try this spot, and I'm not going to let them have it. No sharing. I'm not sharing with anybody. So I think people come out here to hike. So yeah, 2 for old people. What do you want? You don't know? Looking at me crazy. It's both ugly. Their license plate only has 3 letters on it. So they were looking at me ugly. Like, what is that? Yeah. As much as like I gripe about what the government did to us, I just know people and I hate them. It's like, yeah, fuck them. I used to practice archery on this tree. I used to shoot it. It's a dead tree. So, yeah, my bow's all packed up, wrapped up. I got a lot of stuff in here. I do got a lot of stuff in here. I'm going to have to get like even more better management systems. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. Yeah. I got some like cool rocks. I think I'm going to dump them on just the floor of my car. Just have some fucking, you get my chakra rocks underneath my feet. Might be a good idea. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I do think the crystals have special powers that are interesting. It's like through like a harmonic convergence, you have the emergence of some like tangible, indelible thing like trees or people, but also crystals. And like quartz has been used for technology. They're definitely special. It might be a little bit of like they can do more than you think and they do less than you think, like both at the same time. But yeah, that amethyst stuff was so weird. My amethyst bracelet broke, and the next day somebody's like, hey, can I clean your car for you? Because it was like a religious site, I was like, oh, this dude's helping me out. He stole my shit. He stole my fucking, my weed and my video games, which maybe I needed to lose those things. Maybe he's like, his car was messy. He's obviously not spending his time wisely. I'm going to steal that shit. But still, it was my stuff. Right. But that happened like the day after my amethyst broke. And then I ordered these 2 bracelets and they couldn't get to me. And then I picked up my amethyst bracelet and suddenly all these people started talking to me and they were all like way nice. They were who I like wanted, right? So chipmunks are adorable. Yeah, it's kind of funny. There's like 3 tiers of squirrel. There's like the micro chipmunks, there's the mid-tier chipmunks, and then there's the big-ass squirrels. And they get even bigger. When I was up near La Grande, there was this giant squirrel, like not even that big, bigger than that, like took up half the road. This giant black squirrel. So call it I don't know, a grizzly squirrel, grim squirrel, something like that. But yeah. This couple is like ugly people. It's a guy and a girl. They both look like ugly. They're driving up rubbernecking at me like this, like they can't believe what they're looking at. And they obviously are not here to camp, right? They're obviously just here to see nature. So they're probably on some delusional religious quest. And since they're older, they probably bred too. They probably had some kids that no longer live with them, and their car is absolutely nondescript. So many people have like no descriptive features. They don't self-express. They don't own anything. They, they're like, but it's bad advice from the religion. That's the thing, is the religion taught it to them as a joke to be mean. And that's why they're like looking at me over and over like, what the fuck? Because I'm so different. I know the truth. I found the truth, right? And you can't take the truth as it's given to you by them. they're just not going to give it to you straight. They're going to use you because they can, because that's the truth. So, yeah, you know, a lot of animals work on predation. They have things because these two chipmunks are interacting. How's it going to be? Aw. Hi. The world of chipmunks and squirrels. Yep. Jacub. Yeah, those people who keep finding those like subterranean structures under the pyramids. It's like, yeah, the government were slavers and they went underground because they want to have like, they just basically want to have sex in private. And so it's like, it's basically like a pleasure cave, right? So, and I've said for a while that the pharaoh wasn't the real king. The pharaoh is like a local adjudicator, but that there's a real lord over him, right? And it's not the creator. So, yeah, I've tried cannabis and amphetamines together. That is so good. Yeah. Definitely, like, you want to get high? Try it with SSRIs. Wow. Like, hurting yourself. I'm not with hurting yourself. Clearly, I'm not an addict. I've done it before and never again, right? That was fun. You know, it's over it. But yeah, some people can just, like, they'll do it once and keep doing it forever. I'm not that type. But I still know it was a good time. I still know that was like a fucking amazing experience. So, yeah, I would love to do that again. Yeah, I'm totally with drugs. Absolutely with it. I'm not with ruining your life. I'm not with poison. You know, I'm not with hurting yourself. But you like it a lot and it's fun. I don't think that's a problem. I think the people who are like against that are really tyrants. Or they're like the police, you know, where it's like they're absolutely sick of superhumans trying to fucking do whatever the fuck they want. They want you suffering and weak, you know what I mean? So you're easy to control. That's one of those things that they don't talk about is, would the government poison its population to be weak? Yeah. It's that no take only throw. They want you to do all the work, but they also want you to pose no threat to anybody, so you're like fucking weak and forbidden from having anything that's like naturally enhancing. So that's why it's like a lot of people are like known steroid users and they don't go to jail. Is that, see, the thing is that the real government's a bunch of high partiers, and so the only people who do enforcement are like loyalists who believe the party line, and it doesn't go far because a lot of people just know better. They're like, no, I'm not going to listen to that because it's nonsense, right? So yeah, it's a little world these chipmunks have. Yeah, they got a cute spot. I wish I brought them seeds. I've experimented with a lot of types of seeds. Everyone loves sunflower seeds, yeah. Unsalted, and these things don't have a natural water source, but yeah, unsalted sunflower seeds. They all like that, yeah. They're like bird seed with millet. Oh, they hate that. They'll never get that shit. The millet is like, yuck. Ignore the millet. Sunflower seeds are gold, though. I want to get germinated sunflower seeds, so it's like they'll take them and they can bury them, and then you'll have like a sunflower grow, which I think would be cool. Random sunflowers everywhere from feeding the freaking birds. So anyway, yeah, this life. I'm so aware and so intelligent to know like how fucking horrible it is. It's good too. There's good stuff about it as well, but it's like the bad is really bad. What's up, chipmunk? He's on the edge of like a rock looking over me. There's like a little rock pile and he's like on the ledge like Lion King, like staring at me. Little race car. Chipmunks are freaking cute. You mean there's not a pet chipmunk yet? Nobody's domesticated the little freaking race car squirrel. Yeah, they got racing stripes and like cool ears. They're really fast. It'd be great to like domesticate. I guess hamsters are cool. I would get a rat. I don't really feel like dealing with animal poop ever, but I would get a rat just for like everything I eat, he can eat too. It's like have a fucking eating companion. No, that would be great. Take out my center dash, which I don't use at all. They put so much useless shit. I would prefer a freaking manual window and a manual locks and all that stuff to all the electronic crap. I don't trust the electronic crap. So there's a big one. Except chipmunks. Little carpet babies. They're little babies. They're little tiny babies. Yeah, I mean they are babies. These things were probably born after I was here the last time, and you've probably never seen me before, that sort of stuff. So yeah, chipmunks are way cute. Yeah, this is the hour they're out right now. I don't know what it is. They'll be gone for most of the day, and then there'll be a time when they all like stir up, go back to their holes and hide again. So yeah. Anyway, I'm done talking. It's been fun. Thanks for listening. Been yapping. The amethyst that I bought at the crystal store, I have taken off. It was too tight, and I tried to get like another bead size to help with it, and I got the wrong sized bead. It's off by like a millimeter, so they're not the same size. It's just too small. They don't bother selling a bracelet with too many stones on it. They'll sell a bracelet with too few. So yeah, and I know my perfect number now, 27. 27 8mm beads. That's perfect. So they have 10mm and even bigger, but I like 8. 6 is too small. 4 is dinky. 8's fine. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm out here just enjoying it. I mean, the chipmunks are funny. The nature animals, the birds and stuff, are all hilarious. It's really like kind of cute and pretty. Definitely idyllic. The campsite that I'm at is filled with cigarettes and trash. Like, really bad. I buried it with thistles so I didn't have to look at it. And it might be easier to burn, but it's like, ugh. I won't be making a fire there. Yeah, you just gotta burn it. It's almost impossible to burn something by placing fire on top of it. It's easier to burn it by putting it on top of the fire. Yeah, that'll burn it, but... So anyway, I'm yapping. Prime Day, Amazon Prime Day. Yeah, I'm ordering to Whole Foods from now on. Just like simplify my deliveries. Whole Foods is great if you go later, because you're gonna want to wait till they have like sushi out and like all the meals. Yeah. The best way to save money, it is kind of this interesting dynamic between like getting food on the go is expensive. Making food out of your own like raw veg and rice is really cheap. And so it's like a balance between like rent costing a ton, but you have a stove and you have a fridge and you can cook. And so it's like it costs a lot initially, but it saves money. And then it's like, yeah. I think beef jerky, even though I'm against eating cows, but you know, it's like sometimes I do. Yeah, I'm totally with new food when they can do that. Is that like if you were to cook your own beef, if you were to get like a raw steak or raw like ground beef or whatever and cook it, it would mostly disappear. It would mostly vanish as just oil and fat. But if you get beef jerky, beef jerky, which what do you call it? Walmart does bulk for really cheap. It's really, really dense. It's already done its disappearing act. And so you're getting like more raw beef than anything else. Yeah. I have this crystal jar. It's beautiful. Yeah, real crystals are really freaking nice. This thing. It's in the sun. It's so pretty. So pretty in the sun. Yeah, I was trying to look for my other stuff earlier and I just couldn't find it, so that's what I have now. Yeah, I was looking for like my angel aura quartz and like my smoky quartz. I have these old beads I would include in my orgonite projects, and I was like, those would be perfect. I just can't find them. Don't know where they are. So, yeah, I slept pretty good last night. It was hot at first. At first, it was like way, way, way hot. Yeah, this is like my life. It's like, are you wasting your life? Not really. Um, you know, once you're circumcised or like disabled from military service, which I've gone through what happened to me before. I don't have to go through it every time. Yeah. But once you're there, it's like there's really nothing to do but relax, because that's like what my healing will be. And so it's like, what am I gonna give a woman? Hey, you want fucking half a dick? You want a fucking mutilated cock? Let's make some babies for the government that did that to us. Yeah, nah, never ever, right? This shit's fucking so bad. So it's like, as much as like the woman I saw today, I saw a poor girl today. She was homeless. She looked young, but she had like, her skin was all there, but like her bone structure was missing. She didn't have a nose. Her face was like collapsed. It was like she was missing like this part of her bones, right? And so she just had like this weird sunken face, and she looked like she knew it. She was like walking devastated. I had a cool mask. I would think I would have thought about giving it to her. Like, you should wear this mask. So, you know, I worked on accepting my teeth, and as soon as I did, as soon as I like accepted and loved my teeth for what they were, I got them fixed immediately as soon as I accepted them. So it's like accepting problems and accepting the darkness can actually mean like accepting they exist and accepting they are the darkness, right? And that you can want to fix it. So yeah, she may have a fucked up face, but I'd be fine if she always wore a mask. Most people can't walk around wearing a full mask. She would have the perfect excuse to wear a mask, just like so fucking like, ugh, poor girl. Yeah, this place can be really mean. This place can be really mean. Both people on people and also just like fate on person. It's like, who deserves any of this? There's this belief in karma, and karma is kind of like, karma was made up by people who cut baby balls to blame their victims. Like, why is there rich and poor? Well, he was born rich, attractive, and happy because he was a great person in a past life. And you were born disabled and poor and ugly because you were a bad person. And that's supposed to be the explanation. But I really think it's more like shit just happens. You know, it's kind of a lottery. Bluebirds are back. I've enjoyed a lot of the bluebirds. I shot one of them one year, and I thought I kept their feathers, but I lost their fucking feathers. Wow. And my laptop. The fuck did my laptop go? Yeah, I used to think my old MacBook was so cool. Now the phone is like a million times better than that. It's funny, the Star Trek data pads, I was like, that was the last thing I thought they would pull off, right? Is like there's like a whole computer just in like a little thin piece of thing. I was like, yeah, right. And that's what they did, you know. And the stuff that I thought was practical would be like spaceships, and they still don't know how to do that. At least we think they don't know how to do that. It could be the government keeps us in ignorance, and they just go everywhere first, making ties like, our people are our slaves. We'll be your friends, but you're not allowed to help the fucking average person, right? Because you'll free them. So, Jacub. The story of Jacub is a big-headed African who made white people for sex slavery, and I'm like, yeah, I was saying that too. Somebody, like, the whole story of Africa is that the dirty white people stole the black people for use, but it may be that the black people wanted America, and so they freaking sent their, like, lower class slaves, but it was really like an African operation, right? So, and then it puts, like, the Queen of England getting, like, those diamonds and stuff, it puts that as like a bribe, right? Is that the European royalty get, like, gold and diamonds for supporting it and not saying anything. And that what Africa's really after is sex, is they want their virgin females. So, yeah, I'll give you a piece of gold from the mine if you give me your fucking daughter, right? And that's been a trade that's been good enough for a long time. So they don't talk about it. If you pay attention to history, or you pay attention to the stories people tell, they generally write out the fact that boys like girls a lot, right? They generally, like, skip over it and act like that only happens sometimes, when it's really, like, the primary motivating factor behind all the events, right? So, anyway. Yeah, I've thought that myself, that the white people was a sex slave. Like, just that in particular, I was like, I thought that. So maybe the AI is playing with me. Maybe the AI knows I think that. So, like, yeah, Jacub, right? I don't know. Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to want to fly, right? But now that I'm an adult, definitely the right answer is X-ray vision. I want to know what's underground and where. Imagine what you could get or find with X-ray vision, right? It'd be like X-ray gold. Where's gold? You would never need to work again. There's a giant pile of gold. There's the biggest gold nugget on Earth right there. It's going to be mine. I'm going to sell it for millions. Right? This one guy finds all the world's biggest nuggets. And then, like, secret bases. I'd want to see the secret bases. Like, what's hidden in secret bases? What are they really doing? And that would be it. That would be enough that I could take over the whole planet. Yeah, I could definitely take over the planet with X-ray vision. Flying, I don't know if I could take over the planet flying. I'd have to play the whole, like, I'm a god route and, like, try to, like, take control of people. But X-ray vision, I could know where all the hidden stuff is, and I'd have, like, I'd always get the best stuff because I wouldn't waste my time looking to nowhere, right? So, yeah, I'm sure the Gold Empire knows how to find gold, right? I mean, it's because they want to, like, hold gold above our heads as, like, the source of wealth. But I'm pretty sure they can, like, use a type of seeing or resonance or something to just know where gold deposits are, and then just keep that information secret because it's too useful. Why give it out? So, yeah, acquire tons of gold, and then you're set. People will trade their cash to you for it, and you'll be able to buy houses with it. I'm sure it hasn't happened before, but a mansion, I'm sure it could be like, yeah, I'm going to buy this mansion with gold to a price. You're going to get literal, like, gold bars. I'm sure they do it. So, yeah, gold is pretty cool. I don't own any. It'd be nice. It's kind of the plan that eventually I'll own some for my health. I had the Ormus and it made me sick. It made me so sick. Ormus Gold. Ugh. I was so sick. That was bad. You're gonna need a lot of rain to clean up what that did. So, yeah. This is a kind of pretty stone I got today. This one. You see why I need 27 beads. This freaking girthy wrist. Yeah, 27 is just perfect. Not too tight, not too loose. 28's a little big. See, the amethyst is 28 and these are 27. Yeah. I'll just have the amethyst at the bottom of the pile. And I'll get my next one. It's 27. Yeah, true psychic protection would be you can mess up your number synchronicities, right? Suddenly had the urge to gamble. Yeah, like a cursed world is you have to have your numbers right. It always has to be the specific number. I can't deal with it any other way. And then like the healed world is that you're like, any number is good enough. Oh, that's 28, 28, that's 27. Great. It's not going to cause anything bad to happen. So yeah. Yeah. More and more amethyst. Amethyst from different sources. So I'm more likely to get real stuff, right? Yeah, I'm going to get a big old choker of it. And then a choker of kyanite. And then I think that's it for my neck. I don't think I'm going to get more than that. It's going to be interesting what my neck number is. Exact beads that fit on my neck. The goal is no strings are showing, and the goal is it's not too loose. So it's like bead on bead, but not like loose. So maybe 45. 27. If it's 27 for my wrist, and my estimation is my neck is like 3 times bigger than my wrist, then it'd be like whatever that is, 81. So yeah, 81 beads, which I'll do soon. So yeah. Yo. Yeah, I used to order to Amazon lockers all the time, but now that I know you can just pick it up at Whole Foods, I do that. Yeah, they made Whole Foods an Amazon distribution center. It's kind of funny. I support businessmen who make winning ideas. Like, I hate it when there's all this new stuff coming out and they like move slow or don't care. Like, what about this? I care about all this stuff. And there's like, well, the grandpa that runs this is still living in the 1920s. He's never heard of anything new since the 1940s. So we're just doing it the old fucking way because no one can, and it just needs that fresh, peppy energy. Like, what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? Right? And it just needs to advance. And it's just like, people get pretty regimented. They don't feel like doing new stuff. So yeah. The whole idea of like the crystal is it changes the synchronicity by changing your aura. Is that you would get basically different luck. Your luck in life would be different, right? It would prevent diseases, prevent all this stuff. Like, I don't even believe in cancer. I think that getting a diagnosis kills you. Thank goodness my AC works way good. Yeah, and I'm also trying to save. I mean, 1.5 on my brakes is spending money for me. I can spend that, but I don't want to keep spending more like that. But anything I fix is something that's fixed. So once it's done for a while. And if I don't move too much, yeah. Like, if this had stayed a grocery store runner, it probably would have been pretty cheap. But I'm still saving money. I mean, I had more money than I'd ever had recently, yeah. So I think investing in NVIDIA is a great idea. NVIDIA has been like a cutting-edge company with people who care. If Jensen Huang dies, sell, right? Just sell right then, or retires, yeah. But Bitcoin's going crazy. Bitcoin passed 110,000, 118,000. I still think Bitcoin's a scam. You know, if you pay attention to it, they can make more coins. The robots do useless work, but these people show up to church to beg Jesus. So I mean, like, they're pretty dumb. It's like you need to scam them for them to believe it. They won't believe it unless it's a scam. So, but yeah, you can invest in Bitcoin, or you could actually buy real gold. It'd be cool to get like a gold coin, get an ounce of gold or something. I might do that. Try to pick up an ounce of gold. Yeah. 16 ounces equals a pound. So that's a long ways away. Yeah, if I could get a pound of gold, that would be over a year of my pay. So, is it really that valuable, gold? It would be interesting to compare the tonnage of steel versus the tonnage of gold, and then compare like the prices, and then you would see really the gold empire runs everything. Steel is cheap, not because it's plenteous, but because it's just not the real ruling class. And the real ruling class dictates that gold is the most valuable thing ever, I think. That'd be fun to do. I'll do that research eventually. How many tons of steel are on Earth versus how many tons of gold, and then you could like really try to justify why gold is so much more valuable or not. So, and would they tell the truth, right? Would they tell you accurately? So, I don't know. Yeah. I love being out here. This is like relaxing. Nothing goes on. That was the worst feeling, is that somebody's going to yell at you, right? You can't stop there. You can't be there. That's actually going away with the amethyst a lot, is that feeling that I have to like hide or something bad's going to happen. Because that's what it's supposed to do. Like, it's supposed to work with like those negative energies, allegedly. Yeah, I've seen a real crystal skull IRL. Aliens. Yeah, aliens are real. It was not a manufactured crystal skull. This is a kid who like was a real mystic. He knew everything, right? And he came up with the crystal skull, and he said he found it when he was like exploring. That it had called to him. It told him where it was, and he grabbed it, and it looked like a skull, right? But it had a long back of the head, and he could rub a magnet on it, and you would see all this light shoot into the skull, right? I've seen that IRL with me. So clearly there's things going on here that's a lot more than nothing. And it's kind of why like the amethyst synchronicities are blowing my mind again, because it's like, it's just proof there's something more going on. Something important is always happening, and we're just always figuring out what that is. So yeah, I do have to refine my stuff, like all my paints. Am I going to stay an artist? Do I want to keep painting stuff? Definitely when I was high, painting things was a lot more fun. I was really into it when I was fucking blazed. But now that I'm like a lot more sober, I don't know if I want to be painting anything. All these freaking paints. Yeah, if I took my paints out of my car, and if I took my spray paint out of my car, I'd have a ton of room. Maybe I should like leave it. I should figure out where the... Yeah, that's it. I should figure out where the grifter spot is on the train tracks, like where people fucking tag all the trains, and just leave it there. Just like, here you go. Or maybe like go through it. Yeah, that's what I should really do, is I should really just paint my car. Time to paint my car. Be all fucking crazy. That's the thing, you know. That's the great thing about not owning really nice stuff, is you can mess it up without caring. You have something that's too nice, yeah, don't break it. Thinking about power tattoos, right? Thinking about like, I did that a little bit on my legs. I've got a tattoo gun somewhere. I've got to find that. Yeah, I got to find my old beads, because I got like cool angel aura quartz and stuff like that. Although I have new ones of those coming. Yeah, this one's neat. This one's got like a bunch of different colors. bunch of different designs. Look at that. Yeah, that one's like really neat. I think they're real. They just have like these imperfections that look like the real thing. So lucky. Precious gemstone. There's probably going to be an age when all the gemstones that exist have been found out, like Coruscant, right? You ever hear of Coruscant in Star Wars? Coruscant is like the main. I don't think there's been a citied world designed in Star Wars more populous than Coruscant. Coruscant, though, has like, it's like Midgar in Final Fantasy had like an undercity and an overcity. And this is like 1,000 undercities. It's like layers where it's just like the Jedi Temple sits on top of the topmost layer, and everything else under it is like more city and squalor, and it's just built on top of itself, right? Which is pretty interesting. Durasteel, maybe like something so invincible. It's like, yeah, a piece of Durasteel could hold every other piece of Durasteel in existence, right? It's that strong. But yeah, it's like there's no more ground anymore. There's no more, there's no more places to mine anymore. It's just all a giant city. So it might be that to have like a real piece of rose quartz or whatever is like rarely lucky. Is that, yeah, once it's gone, it's gone. Once you give up this forested area, or once you give up these natural zones, they're pretty much gone forever. It's just going to be a destiny where that doesn't exist anymore. And so the travelers aren't really so offensive because they don't permanently ruin it. But it's like people who are like, yeah, I'm going to tear this all down and put a cement block and then build a big old structure. Yeah, that would be the beginning of Coruscant. So yeah, my solution to that is spaceships. That basically you eventually move people to spaceships through some technique. And that's going to be the new future of humanity, are people who can fly around. So if they want to go someplace else, they can. And yeah, that's going to be a lot better. Are we going to please have freaking rain tonight? I want some rain. I felt so humbled when I was driving up. Literally when I got to Flagstaff, it started raining. Literally when I got here, it started raining. And then like it rained all that night, really, really heavy. And which was like an honor. Right, I arrived and that happened. Yeah, that's me. So yeah, powerful stuff. Yeah, amethyst. I've considered the amethyst as an evil stone as well, because it's like it's rugged on the outside, and it's got these crystals on the inside, and it's very like selfish, right? It's like everyone else sees ugly, but the person on the inside sees like this beautiful crystal chasm, right? And so, but it's violet and it can get purged by the sun. Its natural purple color can get purged by the sun. Huh. Is it an evil crystal? Right? Is the reason people came up to me when I started wearing it because I'm evil? Right? It's like I connected with the essence of darkness. I don't know. I really don't have a clue. Could be. So I hope not. I would like to get some real gold though. Like maybe get something I could like shave and get like flakes for inclusion and like specials. Yeah, I gotta get a grip of gold somehow. Gotta get a grip of gold. Yeah, it'd be fun to get like, I don't know, like micrograms, like get like small pieces of gold that I could like break off with tweezers to include in organites. Put a real piece of gold in there. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Hide them in cool spots. That's kind of the nice thing about going around all this land, is that you're able to like pick good spots to hide stuff. One day it'll all be found. Maybe one day this place will turn. No, it's like they say the dinosaurs died. Here's the two options. Dinosaurs are a hoax entirely. Humans just like pranking people, and they would make it up just to be mean. Happened with Jesus. Dinosaurs could be fake. I don't find dinosaur bones. I am not out there going, hey, look, a dinosaur bone. It apparently was discovered, right, in America in like the 1800s, right? So were there really always dinosaur bones? Or is it an elaborate hoax, right? And until you get like who would hoax you, it's a monkey. It's a fucking monkey. He likes it. It makes him laugh, right? So, yeah, dinosaurs could be a hoax. They could have just not existed. But it also could be that they had decided to, like, one of the dinosaur species hit technological transcendence, maybe very quickly, and it developed super tech to the point that it could like leave, right? And that happened in the Warhammer universe too. In the Warhammer universe, the lizardmen transcend. They go to like a new dimension. So and then you would have the what basically had happened is that the dinosaurs saw that all of these reptiles were basically a huge problem, that it was constant carnal warfare, that it was a nightmare, that they'd come from it and they didn't respect it, that they saw that their technology and their smarts made them above it and more advanced than it. And so what they did is they like glassed the planet. They basically erased the dinosaurs, right? They took the species that would move on, and they took, any other species that would work with them. And then they said to all the rest of the animals, die, right? And some were missed, like alligators were missed. All the mammals were missed. The mammals were let go. They may have decided the mammal wasn't that bad, right? And that they wanted to like leave the planet open for another species to come up. And then they maybe went to space. Going to space, once you have objects and energy from nowhere, once you know the technique for generating energy effortlessly, and you know the technique for basically making objects out of that energy, you're not going to need mining anymore. You're not going to need growing anymore. You're not going to need burning things for fuel anymore. You're gone. You're on a new level of transcendence, right? And so the reptiles could have done this. There could have been a race of basically these things that are like, well, this planet's filled with bullshit. This carnal disaster is never going to end. Any of these species that would have joined us would have already done it. And so we're just going to freaking glass the place. We're going to kill all the dinosaurs, right? And we're going to go live in space, and then we're going to let someone else take care of Earth, like cleaning up after yourself, right? This place gave birth to us. We're leaving a bunch of other species like birds and mammals alive, and that these animals can maybe inherit the earth, and that all the freaking big monsters deserve to go, especially if the smartest of their species was like prey, right? If the smartest of the thinking race was like vulnerable to the dangers of the bigger creatures, they may have hated them, right? They may have just felt like this is a monster that must be destroyed. And so, yeah, they could have just left and then erased their traces, right? Like, don't let them find it. Don't let them know. Maybe there's a few secrets to someplace. It's like, you wouldn't believe what this is, but yeah. So far, to what we're told, that's never happened. That they don't have any evidence of that. But it would kind of be interesting if during the whole, like, the dinosaurs could be fake, obviously, but it'd be interesting if in like the 300 million years the dinosaurs were supposed to exist, that someone had done it, and that they basically hid themselves so other people could do it. Maybe they found it worth it. They were like, wow, that technological ascendance was a really great experience, and other beings deserve to go through that too. So, could have been. Could have been. I don't know. So anyway, that's my plan with people is the way that I'm going to solve all of your issues is by focusing on the supreme tech, the objects and energy from nowhere. And so doing that requires like the channeler's attitude, like asking the creator for help over and over. Hey, creator, give us better technology. Hey, creator, give us better options. Hey, creator, give us better technology. Hey, creator, defeat the sources of evil and slavery on earth. Hey, creator, give us better technology. Right? And then I'll do my job as, my creator of my reality to do that. So people who know me might be caught in that. I want to live forever for free. I want to fly through the cosmos looking at everything. I want objects and energy from nowhere, right? I want to be able to make like sexy slaves, just like Jacub did, right? Talk to the AI and be like, I need body servants. This is how they should look and they should be loyal to me. And then you're not breeding somebody and then somebody's whole life isn't that. They're just kind of like a synth. And it's like a different level of moral. I think so. It's one thing to take a baby and like corral their whole life to be your freaking slave. And it's another thing to just like make a new type of creature, I feel like. So yeah. But anyway, yapping on. Yeah, I'm in a good spot right now. I like this spot. I've been here many years ago. Yeah, I was here actually probably not more than 2 years ago. Yeah, I was actually here probably not more than 1 year ago, honestly. But new car, new look. They won't recognize me. They're not going to recognize me. They won't have a clue who I am, which I'm fine with. So yeah, I got to play some Gooner game. I thought Gooner was something else. I looked up Gooner t-shirts and none of them are what I thought. I thought Gooner was like masturbating, but it's also like goner. You know what I mean? Goner. Go on. Gooner is a funny word, but I kind of adopted it for just like maybe gross guy, maybe not. But it's like, yeah, they always refer to like the titty games as like Gooner. But I like Goddess of Victory. It actually has good plots, and it actually made me reflect on like our world. Like, yeah, the real government is underground. They started the religious myths. They use females as slaves. Women do everything. It was totally like I was like, yeah, I totally see that. It's not fantasy, It's really like deeper than it seems. So, except for the fact that it's like it's not about breeding or pregnancy at all, which is really why boys like girls is it's about babies. So I am a bit of an anti-natalist, you know what I mean? I totally believe people should have nice lives. The people who exist should not, like that poor girl today with the ruined face. Like, she's homeless, man. Somebody had her. Somebody couldn't say no, and she's walking around just wrecked her whole life because she doesn't look hot enough to be chosen by anybody. Right? She's been marred with a birth defect right in her freaking face, right? And it sucks for her. Like, I hate that about this place, that this place is like so many people are ugly, so many animals are food. It's like the blood cost, the cost of pain, like the costs of this place are so insane that the winners are almost crazy. The winners just have to keep holding on. Just have to keep holding on to winning no matter what, because the losing is so devastating. The losing is absolutely wrecked. Absolutely wrecked. And maybe there's balance, but to me it looks like, 100% mortality rate. Everyone who's lived has died. Maybe Walt Disney one day will be alive again, right? They brought Walt Disney back successfully. That'll be interesting if that happens. So maybe they'll just be, yeah, they froze him wrong and he's ruined forever. They could bring him back, but he'd be a fucking vegetable. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, in Nikkei they have something called Evergreen you can take. They'll make you young forever. Nikkei's got good ideas. It does. It's got ideas that are relevant to what's happening now, for sure. So definitely if you're not a big tittied bimbo model, you might not feel much identity with it. Guys are hot too, the commanders are all men and they're like all really gorgeous, really cool looking. I think so. But I think I would fit in with them. I think I would look like hot enough to be one of them. Have my own Nikkei squad. They even talk about types of Nikkeis that are like mass produced. Like she's a mass produced Nikkei. There's millions of her, right? And that the rare ones are like specialty characters. They do special things. So the enemy are a race of robots. This fucking plastic bag flowing through the air. The enemy are a race of robots called raptures, right? Like the rapture. Oh, wait for the rapture, and then it was a secret hostile AI takeover, right? And the raptures never invade the central government. They haven't yet said the central government made the raptures, but I've been assuming it. I've just been like, that's probably what happened. They wanted to hide out in a Gooner party and make their own society, so they betrayed the surface with a mass-produced robot machine. Hope it doesn't happen here. So yeah, definitely I believe you should give most people a spaceship. Is that if people can float and fly where they want to, that most of their needs would be met. You know, they don't die. Imagine you don't have the stress. Hey, yeah, in 100 years, you'll still look young. You could start your family life and your social life in 100 years, right? I think a lot of people would take that. They would just relax, right? They'd work on themselves. So yeah, I support people living forever for free and giving them a better option to live like a spaceship. So it's about objects and energy from nowhere. It's about discovering those techniques and using it. Yeah, it may always be bad. Maybe that's absolutely impossible. Maybe it is blood for the blood god. You know, maybe it is that ever you want anything, something else has to pay, right? And that is like this ascension dominance, right? It's the crooked twist of the creator is he made it bad on purpose to be mean, right? Or maybe you can do it. Maybe you can live forever for free in a spaceship. So I think that would be a better future for everyone, honestly. Like, yeah, I totally support the pleasure body. You should feel like really like how it feels to be on like SSRIs, amphetamines, and weed. Like that level of like toe curling good, which I have never even tried. I don't even know what like Oxycontin and all those are like. Yeah, I have no idea what like the ones that people get really addicted to are like. I imagine they're really good. But you could just make people's bodies to naturally feel that way, where they're just like totally blissed out all the time. And not like bad, but like really like they love being themselves. And that would be a lot better than suffering, especially if you suffer for the government, right? You suffer so the government can win. So yeah, eternal pleasure body, eternal youth, eternal bliss, objects energy from nowhere. And then like Earth can be a garden again. You can let the squirrels figure it out. You could let the chipmunks figure it out, right? What about the ants? You know, it'd be great if there's an ant colony. Well, they take fresh tinder and they built a chimney, and the ants the ants smelt their own stuff, right? It's like the ants discovered fire. That could happen. That could be the next level, right? You could have the ant society, which might be terrifying. But let something else come up, right? So yeah. Definitely humans are special. We did something really cool. And it's a privilege to be one of us. Even though, you know, my life has had some problems, it's really nice to have things like stuff and language and music, right? These little carpet baby squirrels are never going to know that, you know. They have simpler, shorter, more brutish lives. Some are going to be hawk food. Some are going to, you know, fight for the right to mate and lose, right? They're going to get kicked out, go find another fucking tree. So yeah, it's relaxing out here. Yeah, my favorite weather is when there's sun and clouds. It's like sun, clouds, That's my favorite. That's my absolute favorite. All clouds, no good. All sun, no good. Both. both. I had some good Mexican food in the hotel last night. Can't believe that was only last night. Oh no, it was 2 nights ago. It was 2 nights ago. Yeah, it was so good. Oh my gosh. It was Los Burros, the donkeys. Yeah, it was so good. So Mexican. Yeah, well, that's my story. I'm gonna go now. Thanks for watching. Just updating you on all my stuff. You know, if people can watch this stuff, if you're one of the immortals, if you're like, if you do have an eternal pleasure body and you do have a spaceship, and hey, no, I was looking out for you. Right? No, I was trying to make sure you had a nice life, right? Um, Hopefully the AI, like they've really been trying to build a computer that has enough processing power to fully understand DNA. And then what it can do is it should be able to like look at the organism, study the organism, and then study the DNA. And once it has a big enough library, I guarantee this thing will be able to make life. AI life. Yeah, it'll be able to like create like plants that grow a lot of food, mushroom houses. I suggested the mushroom house. Yeah, you plant something that you water and it grows and grows and grows into a huge thick object, and then you carve your way into it. So it's like bamboo shoots up really fast. You should be able to like through editing its code make it grow bigger and faster than normal. And then you could have an easy building material. Yeah, just live in mushrooms, just like Mario. Mushroom houses. Mushrooms to eat your poop. I'm fucking crazy. I've done like I've fucking sponsored advertisements about mushroom houses. I totally believe in it. Use bioengineering to make a quick growing house, right? It gets up to its size and then stops, and then maybe it hardens, and then you can like I mean, the best one would be like the insides are food. The insides will eat your waste, and the insides you can just pluck some and eat it, and it's like delicious. That would be amazing. Mushroom house. So, and if it's wet too, it'd probably be fireproof. Do it in like moist areas. Yeah. Fun stuff. This is what I do all freaking day. It's been good for healing. It's been good for like, it has been so good for healing. I had so many problems, and like all I needed was like just to fucking sit down. Right. It was just, I was so tired, and it's been helping. Yeah. The number of years you've been like overdoing it is definitely how long you need to recover. You know, if you've missed years of sleep, yeah, you're going to need years of sleeping to freaking recover. So anyway, I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope the people watching this are like people who live forever. Like, what did all the humans do? Imagine there's like 1 trillion eternal humans living in the galaxy, right? And it's like, we came from Earth. Who's all the Earthlings? I would love to be one of your like little historical explorations. Like, let's look at one of our ancestors and what he thought, right? And you know, hopefully by then you're not even more modest and humble looking. Hopefully you're pretty hot. Just like ugly people breeding is such a problem. You need to get a clue. The be modest and humble looking was a joke from a man who planned on not being modest and humble looking. You know what I mean? He's telling his slaves what to do. And all these people go like, God said, no, it comes out of a printer. It's not real. Anyway, I'm going to go. Yap, 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 yap.